Everybody, and welcome to the August 12th, 2025 Police and Public Safety Committee meeting. I'm going to begin by taking attendance. I have Councilmember Brennan, Supervisor Cassidy Dorian, myself. I have Chief Barbiero from District 2. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you.
Comptroller Kara Parks. And that is all. I'm going to begin the meeting by asking for a motion to accept the July 15th, 2025 minutes. A motion?
Motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. So the first thing we have under operations, the dangerous dog agreement runs through the end of this year. We are going into budget seasons. I contacted our vendor at the Montgomery County SPCA. Had a lovely conversation with them. We've had more dangerous dogs in the past year than we probably had in the past 20 years. And so we're beginning to have that conversation as to what that looks like from a financial structure. Currently, it's $2,500 every quarter to maintain this agreement, which totals $10,000 a year. In speaking with their director over there, because obviously there are increased costs for everything, one of the things I had discussed with them was if there's a way to maintain or even lower what the contractual sort of retainer is and increase the daily rate, because the daily rate is what is actually passed on to the owner of the dog. So Maureen Rossi is her name. She is going to take that to her board. She's going to have a conversation and she's going to see what she can do. But I made it very clear to her that, you know, the town's position is obviously by law, we have to have one of these, but we really don't want to see any increased costs being passed on to the town and the tax base, but rather the people that are potentially having the dangerous dog incidents. So she's going to work on that for us. Under fleet and equipment, we have a Department of Transportation master agreement. We had a meeting some time ago, multiple meetings now, with the Department of Transportation regarding Route 7. This master agreement, basically what they're allowing for us to do as a municipality is to agree to put up electronic Your Speed Is signs in the areas of from St. David's Lane all the way through Mohegan Onondaga area. Sort of bookending, because we know that's tends to be one of our areas with that 40-mile-an-hour zone that we need more speed. What's the word I'm looking for? Countering measures, if you will.
Oh, traffic calming.
Yeah, traffic calming. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Traffic calming.
It's too much.
So DOT came up with a $40,000 allotment of money where they will reimburse the town if we purchase the signs and have them placed there. They will reimburse us as a part of this agreement. So it's going to be at no cost to the town to be able to do the signs. The one thing we would have to, I think, pay for potentially is the traffic engineers that would have to construct the locations. So I think Laura was looking at that. She had reviewed the agreement. She had sent it in conjunction with me, Detective Munger. She had said that it looks good so far. So I put it onto the committee for the board to review. Town Attorney Finnan also has it to review as well. But that's good news because, again, another layer of traffic calming for that area that will be not necessarily at the expense of the town itself. Also under fleet and equipment, I have the purchase of a traffic trailer. So when we wrote the burn grant, we had anticipated one of the lines for the fixed point LPRs under the burn grant to be around $70,000 to place. It came in substantially lower. It's in the $54,000 range. So the difference between the money, I spoke to the people at the burn grant. We did a budget modification, which I got approval for today, and we were moving essentially just shy of $24,000 from the budgeted line for the LPR under the grant to a separate line to be able to purchase another billboard sign. So the billboard sign that we have on Route 7, we're going to be able to utilize grant monies to purchase a second one under the same grant that we already have. So that's great news for us. So that purchase is on a Sourcewell contract, similar to what we did previous. So it doesn't need to go out to bid or anything like that, or getting quotes. And the total amount for that is $23,529.08. And that's going to be on for resolution as well.
What's that sign called?
It's a traffic billboard sign, so it's got a public safety message component to it. And then what we also do, the reason we buy these particular trailers is we can use our purchased LPR cameras to put them on the sign. So it's almost like a mobile LPR in conjunction with public safety messaging. Also under fleet and equipment, the body worn camera server equipment purchase. I'd sent out an email to the board members about this. We had a situation where our backup was not functioning appropriately to our body worn camera server, and we needed upgrades to the server itself to house all of the storage and information. I was working with Josh Panisha, our IT director, regarding this. It is on state contract. He had priced out with Sergeant Kafaga to be able to buy server equipment. Again, this is also through grant funded monies. The total for that is $11,434.59. And I believe he was moving forward with that purchase because we need to kind of expedite that. Lastly, under fleet and equipment, I have the Verizon agreement to utilize polls for LPR. This was tentative. As of 10 minutes ago, I got the agreement. I haven't reviewed it yet. Things seem to be kind of moving in the right direction with these after a year and a half. So I sent that over to the town attorney to review. Hopefully we'll have that for the board to review, and we can do that agreement as well and take that next step to get all these LPRs up on the polls themselves. Under building, I put parking lot and PD access for accreditation. I did call Superintendent Ray Smith to discuss this. So under accreditation, we just need to button up our control access to the PD, probably to the building as a whole. It would be preferable townwide anyways, but we talked about some ideas on how we can maybe rekey some of the doors, also change who has access via fob during different particular timeframes for any of the ongoing projects that maintenance has to do on the PD side. So we're going to come up with a plan. We're going to have an internal meeting that we were scheduling out here soon to discuss a plan moving forward. As far as the parking lot, basically, I wanted to begin having conversations because we are buying all these trailers and we don't have storage, right? For the winter, for some of the inclement weather. We talked about possibly rearranging where one of the maintenance vehicles doesn't use the PD lot. It actually parks up top. The other one can be there for loading and offloading coming out of the basement for the building for any of the maintenance. And then moving, they have a trailer that they leave out there that has all sorts of winter equipment inside of it to maintain snow blowing and everything for the PD lot and town hall itself. Maybe laying some crusher and just moving that over one location in the back lot, and hopefully, potentially at some point, buying a small carport that would go over that trailer and then give us access to put our trailers underneath as well in that location. So it's all housed here and secure. So, but I can't say enough great things about the conversation I had with Reddy. He's very open to all those things. He's going to take a look at it and start pricing things out for us. So. Under training, our department's going to be conducting department-wide training on de-escalation strategies and techniques through the Police One Academy platform. This will be done in the next, I think, 6 weeks is the due date for this. Under citizen correspondence, we didn't have any ongoing, we didn't have anything new. Under town events, we have Coffee with a Cop at the Senior Center. I'm there the third Tuesday every single month. Please come see me and the seniors. It's a great time. We also have a separate Coffee with a Cop event on the 29th of August at the Niskuna Target/Starbucks. Our traffic and community engagement division, Sergeant Party, does a great job over there having these events. So please come out and say hi to us. I don't have the time yet, but it will be through a Facebook post. I believe it's going to be somewhere in the time frame of like 11 to 1 or 10 to 12 is generally what we do. I just wanted to put on for community events also just a special thank you to all of the volunteers, to all of the folks who came out for our National Night event. Confidential Secretary Courtney McGavard did an excellent job putting that together with Lori Peretti, Sergeant Party. I can't thank Lieutenant Freddie enough for his hard work. I was unfortunately unable to be there because of family conflict. He ran the show. He did an excellent job with all things PD. It was a great turnout from what I understand. There's a lot of internal volunteers that came, including people in this room. It seemed like the community had an excellent time. It's been nothing but positive feedback from that event. So helicopter flying in while the national anthem simultaneously is being sung.
Awesome.
I mean, I don't know if you could plan that
So
out, right? That's an amazing thing to see. I watched the video. So also under town events, I had it on there previously, but I'm just going to put it back on. The Mohawk Hudson Marathon is October 12th. I got to talk to Alina about this because I know we do some sort of agreement with the Runners Club regarding, I don't know, it's insurances and things of that nature. That's kind of an annual thing that we do with them. Michelle Marinelli was unable to be here. She did ask me to put food trucks and background check fees on under town clerk. I think the food trucks is a part of that ongoing conversation that we have with town events and how we're gonna sort of regulate those things.
She wants it more for like, not our events, but like on town property in general.
Yeah, we talked,
I mean, my thought is that they have to be licensed through the Department of Health anyway, so I feel like we could make some sort of policy that sort of says, as long as you have this, I mean,
They're supposed to bring an insurance certificate to the town hall.
not for our events. I mean, like, if they
I
wanted to.
mean, like
pull in-
if they have it at another park, they have like a sports team wants to be like, let's have it, they're supposed to be bringing their insurance certificate to town hall.
I think what we had, the scenario that we were talking about was like, there's baseball games going on at Blatnick Park and the taco truck rolls in, like that kind of thing. Are they allowed to do that?
No, there's just a.
I don't think by town, I think there's a like provision for certain things. I have to look at it again, it's been a while since I thought about it, but it definitely is not just a green light. I think we
'Cause
need some.
We
I mean,
looked into it a
even
couple of years
here-
ago
Yeah,
because
control
some
mechanisms.
people had concern.
And we just never did a,
We didn't because we thought we were gonna glob it into the whole like application for some sort of an event concept.
I feel like theirs is not really like a single event. That would be, it's more of like blanket permission to go into the park.
I also thought it was supposed to go into like the sports agreements that were getting drawn up, that they understood the rules
We
about
talked about that too, because it was generally,
tournaments and what was required of.
it was the
I don't
sports
think-
holders.
I don't think food trucks was in there, but we can add it.
I think that's the time it's happening, is generally when it's happening. Like, so for instance, you go to, Niskuna Soccer Club or something like that, you know, they have an event and food trucks come to Center Park, right? So what governs their ability to do that, I think is really how this all started.
Yeah, now it's coming back to me because we were saying if they pulled into somebody's driveway, that's a private party,
Sure.
so it has nothing to do with it. Like we were even saying if they pull over on the side of the road somewhere, is that allowed? Like those
No.
kinds of things. Right? And so I think her whole thing, if I recall, is do we want to have something different that's more of like a blanket approval for food trucks that are not really like one day events?
Is it like the ice cream truck that comes rolling around?
It is.
Except they don't stop, they don't stop rolling from here.
It is, right?
Yeah, run.
Exactly.
I'm all for small business, but I think we definitely need to have knowledge of insurance, right? And who's operating it.
Pull, nobody gets hurt,
Do we-
fire, like,
We want to modify whatever, like kind of water down whatever process this is to have them, I mean, like, she does something with the garbage trucks. Couldn't we do some similar process where they're like permitted for a period of time?
I mean, if the ice cream truck is kind of similar, they have to come in and get permanent with a background check for the ice cream truck.
And then we could make sure that we include, whatever insurance and certifications they need from Department of Health, check. Here's your period of time.
yeah, like a seasonal permit or something.
I think what we don't want is we don't want somebody driving around and get something out of a truck.
I mean, you might not want that.
I want it, I want it,
We
but
want
I'm,
somebody to come here.
what I'm suggesting is we don't want it to be,
I know you
there's gonna be
do.
control mechanisms.
So say a taco truck comes to Niskuna baseball field, I'm just throwing that in there. So Niskuna baseball has insurance, the taco truck has insurance. So now everyone's covered and
Yep.
there's no
Right.
worries, right? We don't want them to just pull up wherever they want because
Totally. So we could do, I'll ask Michelle about that, but that might be the easiest one is just to do a permit process for it. I mean, I'm kind of wondering what the ice cream truck fills out now.
that's like,
There-
oh,
It's a whole separate section.
it's a whole different law and stuff.
Is it because it's prepackaged? Like they're not preparing?
That piece of it I'm not familiar with, is we don't know like Department of Health type stuff, I don't know about that specifically, but I know from the permitting process, it's like in Taco.
Oh, right, because they used to not allow it.
Correct.
Right.
And then like in conjunction with that, the background check fees, and we had talked about this. There are certain background checks because people are coming here that are out of state that are now becoming solicitors and working for different companies. And depending on the type of background check you have to do if they're out of state versus in state, the fees associated are more. And we need to be charging the vendor the accurate amount of money in conjunction with the check that we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
So
think-
aligning that.
We're just sort of, you apply, To
Here's your
get,
cost.
to get the permit,
Here's your exact
yeah,
cost.
you're gonna have to
per
pay
person,
for the
right?
background check we just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's New York, that's the worst, really.
Mhm.
And then I think we talked about also moving that line potentially, Kara, correct me if I'm wrong, into the town clerk's.
I think we put that on the budget.
So an out-of-state background check would be more expensive.
Yes,
Yes.
depending on how many states that they operate in, you know, it could,
Some of them have, if there's a lot of documents, like somebody got into a lot of trouble in one state, sometimes you're paying per like document. Yeah, it's like a mess.
Our Corbin Town Attorney always leave the extreme risk protection order cases, the licensed dogs and bus patrol hearings. Those are always ongoing. I don't have exact numbers on those. We haven't had a dangerous dog here in a little bit, so hopefully that continues.
Oh, real quickly for town clerk and court, just because I've been talking to Elena about it, we're exploring the idea of potentially either assigning someone in-house to be a FOIL officer or potentially hiring someone. Because the FOIL requests have just become overwhelming and we can't get our regular work done because we're chasing all of these things down.
Yeah, and just to speak about it out loud, because we're on camera, there was one FOIL last week that the town attorney reviewed over 7 hours of body work.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna be feasible long term. I don't know if we want to have a FOIL officer position in every department that is
Well, we
doing.
were thinking the
training-
split, because there's so much for body cam footage, maybe it makes sense to have somebody in your office be that kind of, whether or not they're the FOIL officer, there's someone like, let's send her to training so that she knows what's coming through, so that maybe she can be a person that reviews rather than having it reviewed twice kind of thing. So I talked to Elaine about that. We're looking into what kinds of trainings are out there. We also, this isn't the core purpose, but we were exploring software that we already own, Laserfiche. Laserfiche has the ability to kind of organize documentation in a way that's super easy to put it on your website. That's a complaint I hear often, not being able to find things or get things on the website. So we could actually use our Laserfiche to put organized documentation in there, and things that might be foiled it's already public information. We can point them in that direction and it doesn't go through the FOIL process. So the more that we can put things out there, I think that will help to reduce some of the emails and requests. So trying two different things hopefully will help.
Chief, I didn't have anything for the fire department. Do you have anything?
No, other than the night out went well. We did a car extrication, so we had a good time.
That was pretty awesome.
It
Yeah.
was.
People don't get to see the jaws of life and all these other things.
It was a good, and then next year I think we'll have more time because that was the last minute thing we did. So next year I think we'll do a burn. We got to get all the permissions in place.
We gotta get the old door. I'm gonna show them how we
Yeah.
tear down doors to get
Yeah,
inside the
so
house.
we're trying to figure that out. So the three departments are getting together and figuring it out. So
That
the
sounds
fire
like-
departments, the three fire department chiefs are meeting once a month regularly.
Good,
So more meetings, so
Love that.
hopefully more united front.
awesome. Love to hear that. Under the school district, we have the school resource officer MOU. The school district has a language. I know it's tentatively on their agenda for this evening. So hopefully that gets reviewed and voted on by their board, and then we can have our board take a look on board on it as well. Under personnel, we have a resolution to permanently appoint a police officer. That's Officer Evan Pettis. Evan came to us from the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office. He's a town resident. Evan's been doing great work on Sealand, and it's definitely a recommendation that he be made a permanent member of our team. So we're excited for him to continue that good work in that capacity. Also under personnel, we have the school crossing guard. Barb has graciously decided, with a lot of begging and pleading from me, to come back for another year. Just when she thought she was out, we're reeling her back
Stay for the
in.
whole year?
She is going to try to stay for the whole year, yes. It's gonna be a modified schedule based around the grandkids. One of the things that we did talk about, and we've talked about this over the course of many, many years, was getting a more comparable rate for her position on an hourly rate compared to our neighbors. We think $20 an hour is comparable. We have in conjunction with that, currently she's paid, I think it's 15 an hour, is what it is.
Whatever minimum wage is, right?
But we have requested from the school district to see if they have funds to contribute to this, and they're looking into that as well. But she has agreed to come back for this next school year. So there's a lot of transition going on in the school district. There's a lot of construction going on. So we're hopefully in conjunction with Skyview County, working on some plans to get some longer term solutions to those areas that don't include necessarily a crossing guard. But until that happens, Barbara's gonna try to work through it with us to continue. So
Sweet.
it's great news.
Yay, Barb.
Under other, I always keep on just the town of Niskuna event application and for town code.
I'm sitting staring at me.
It's been a process. It's not a simple thing. And then I also have the town of Niskuna local law with regard to airsoft and BB guns. There's a public hearing for this upcoming board meeting. So under resolutions, I have the DOT master agreement. I have the permanent appointment of police officer, the Verizon agreement, which we just got. Hopefully we're gonna be able to do that one, the purchase of a trailer, the school resource officer MOU, and the school crossing guard hourly rate, the body worn camera server equipment purchase. And then I just left on the public hearing for changes to town code for the event application tender in case we do,
Interesting.
just in case.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So the hourly rate resolution, is that to increase the hourly rate, or are we waiting on the school district for that?
I think we're gonna increase it, just to get Barb here. And then we're
So the
gonna,
20 an hour.
and then we're gonna pray and hope that we can get the school district, if they can find the means in their budget to contribute to it.
Got it.
And we did go through a pretty lengthy conversation about, can we do anything else besides a crossing guard? And there's so much going on over there, especially with the construction. We don't necessarily know what it's all gonna look like at the end, so we don't wanna spend the money to put something in place that might get changed. And so I think we sort of said, okay, for now, while all of this is going on, let's try to keep her. And she wanted to retire, and we're like, you can't.
Keep those Mickey Mouse gloves
I
out.
know.
The good news is that, so for the next 2 years, I believe, sixth grade is only gonna be housed at VA. Is it for 2 years or just this year?
I think it's just this year,
I think it's just
This
this
is
year, because the
Yeah,
next year
and
they're
then it-
supposed to,
5-6, I think.
5-6 is going to VA, and then 7 and 8 will be at her.
So we're gonna monitor, I talked to Barb in the school district, because it's just sixth at VA. And because according to Barb, there was about 4 or 5 families on Story, the upper part of Story, that would walk across to go to VA, and they have since graduated up. We're gonna see, there's even a possibility that we're not running, we run sort of 2 shifts with the crossing guard. There's like the initial shift for Hillside, and then there's the VA. We may not even need the VA, depending on the numbers of people that are actually going to VA as pedestrians. Right? So it's possible that by increasing it to 20, we're actually not, it's a net zero with cost. So,
Super.
did anyone have anything else? Okay. And with that, I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Do I have a
Want
second?
to say our next meeting,
Sure.
September 4th at 3:30.
September 4th at 3:30. Did I have a second? I can use you as a second.
Okay.
All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We're gonna close the meeting at 5:27.
You know why? Like how much?
Uh,
It was really.
You didn't have to say that, that's the first